WWE 2K has done incredible changes to the creation suite. Let's dive into some of the new features they've added in through the Ringside Report. So there's kind of a lot to talk about here, and it isn't overly organized, so I'm gonna feel like I'm kind of all over the place, but I want to kind of talk about some of the new features and just give my opinions on them. So probably one of the biggest community requested features here is body morphing. Now, body morphing I think has been in the game before. I remember back in like Here Comes the Pain era, you can definitely create some like absolute monstrosity characters based on like weird body proportions, and I feel like in the last couple of years we've been getting that back slowly but surely. But here 2K26 seems to go insane with the way that they're adding in new body morphing options. So not only can you now just create like apparently a complete monstrosity of a character, you can also fully morph the way that the face looks, which could potentially help with a lot of people who like to create real life characters. Maybe they can create much better versions of real life characters just through the body morphing system instead of using custom textures all the time. However, if you've played 2K25, one of the key things you've probably ran into is the fact that you either run out of Create a Superstar slots or you've ran out of image slots. Now this year they've been able to ditch the previous generation consoles and they've been able to move solely onto next gen. It's weird to say next gen when the console's been out for like 6 years. However, we're talking about the PS5, the Xbox Series consoles, and I guess PC and Switch too. So with that, they've been able to double the creation slots up to 200, so you now have 200 created characters, and they've been able to increase the amount of image slots. It's quite complicated how the characters break down. I don't really create custom characters, so I wasn't fully aware of how the system is broken down, but it says here, previously there were 60 layers total for the entire superstar, but now it's all split into separate pools. So you have 60 layers for the attire, 40 for the head and body, and I'm not really sure how that works, but it seems like they're adding more options, more layers for people to mess around with, and that seems like a good thing to me. One of the things that 2K has consistently teased through the kind of early teases and even into now is the fact that they're adding in two-tone hair color blending. I wasn't aware that this was like a huge thing the community wanted, but it seems to be getting some pretty good feedback online, and it looks pretty cool in practice. So I'm curious to see I don't know really what this does exactly. So I'm really curious like how people are going to be using it in the final game, and I'm really excited to see what kind of custom characters people can come up with now that they can amend better colored hair. Now, Create an Arena is where I'm at. Create an Arena is my absolute favorite creation mode. When I was younger, I used to create lots of custom characters. Me and my brother used to create whole federations of custom characters, but as I've gotten older, if you didn't know, I used to have a 3D animation channel. I guess I still have it, it isn't gone. But yeah, I used to have a 3D animation channel where I specifically recreated WWE and AEW 3D models of their arenas. And the Create an Arena is an absolute blessing for me. This is exactly what I want from the game. Now, over the last couple of years, Create an Arena has kind of been neglected. There hasn't really been many upgrades, and in fact, as the years have gone on, the mode is getting significantly worse and worse. But one thing that should have been in last year's game that has finally been added into this year's game is the ability to add in LED barricades. Now, one of the things that really bugged me last year is I did not want to create any custom arenas just because of the LED barricades. Like, if I couldn't have the LED barricade, I wasn't really up for creating anything. Like, obviously retro arenas are cool, I like enjoying creating the retro arenas, but I want to create versions, I quite enjoy creating versions of the current arenas. So like if I wanted to create my own SummerSlam or my own Money in the Bank, and I wasn't able to use the LED barricades, then it was kind of bothering me. Thinking back to last year's, in the last year, WWE especially has been moving more towards using smaller stages, like the entranceway is just being kind of a doorway with some LED boards and stuff. But last year had some retro stages in there, and I kind of wanted to use some modern versions of those stages. So I wanted to create like just a doorway version of these pay-per-views, but because I wasn't able to use the LED barricades, it really put me off the whole experience. And I know it sounds really silly, just LED barricades, but yeah, I'm really excited to see that into the game, and it's going to make me want to create more arenas as we go on here. The other things they've listed here are new announced table styles and new customization options for the ring mat, aprons, and table covers. If I could throw my 2 cents in here, one thing I've always wanted, and again, it goes back to what I was just saying, I like to create custom versions of existing arenas. So for example, I want to create my own version of Money in the Bank. I want to create my own version of Backlash or my own WrestleMania. But one of the most annoying things about these creating arena things is that you can never create an existing apron. Like you have to, if you want to use the apron that's already in the game, you like may have to go into the maybe not the piracy, but the modding side of it. You'll have to extract the texture and then upload it for the image creator so that you can just use the existing ring skirts. And it's really bothers me. So like if 2K could just figure this out, I'm sure it wouldn't be too I hope it wouldn't be too complicated since the assets are already in the game. Just give us the option to select existing aprons. I don't know why that's not already a thing. And even if you were just creating like, if I was creating like an Attitude Era themed event, just chuck in a generic Attitude Era ring skirt and apron, you know, like let me do that. And then that way I don't have to waste a custom texture on an apron that may already exist in the game. Moving on to the cliff notes here, the creation suite gets expanded in weird ways where like there are actually like huge sweeping changes to the whole system, but in the Ringside report and the patch notes they never really say anything. But it says here create an image is now been doubled up to 2,000, as I said, so you can get 2,000 image slots, which is awesome because some of the custom character creations, you know, people like Defract and stuff, they make these amazingly detailed created characters of real people like Jericho or whoever else it may be from other companies, and they're so detailed and they use so many custom like images and stuff. But what it can end up doing is just completely spamming the image loader, and you end up hitting that 1,000 image slot very quickly. So hitting 2,000 this year is probably still very possible. But I'm excited that it's been expanded, so at least we do get more people, hopefully, as an option. And also Switch 2, for people who bought 2K25 on Switch 2, the image uploader is now available. So that wasn't available in 2K25, it is now. So you're now getting, Switch 2 seems like it's getting a much better version this year because only a few features were missing from the Switch version. Create a Championship and Money in the Bank, again, they've expanded the available parts. So there's now a refreshed menu look and feel. I'm assuming that is probably similar to the other creation suite menus. Again, not really much to say about it. They did show it a little bit in the video that you're probably seeing over me talking here, but yeah, they're just adding in new parts, and hey, new parts is cool. I think that's a good thing. We want more. We want as many parts as possible. That's good. Create an Entrance has also been expanded here. They've added the advanced timeline feature for all entrance motions, inclusive of Champion, Double Champion, Money in the Bank, and Default. I don't know what that default specifically means, but it does seem very cool to have advanced options now for stables. Create an Entrance and Victory also now support quad and quint sized stables, which is very cool. So again, you're going to have lots more options here to customize the way that your characters enter the ring and how your teams enter the ring and how you leave the ring as well. Now, I've always thought that Create an Entrance is a little clunky nowadays. It used to be something I used to love messing around with back in like the kind of Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown vs. Raw era. I've kind of fallen off a little bit with it. And nowadays when I go into it, it's quite daunting. I feel like there are so many options and so many animations, and the advanced timeline feature is a little bit janky as well. Like I used it once to think to trigger pyro for someone like Kenny Omega or something, and it was a faff. So I'm hoping they can maybe smooth that kind of process out in the future. Even though it's probably user error, it's probably me being old and stupid, but hopefully, you know, for people who like the Create an Entrance feature, I hope that they are adding the features that you want in the game. And that's everything for the Creation Suite today. Are they adding in the features that you want in the game? Because some of the arena features that they're adding in make me happy, but again, I feel like they haven't gone like kind of full send into all the features that I want. I'm really happy they're bringing in the LED barricades, but there are so many other ways that we can improve the mode by letting us choose different types of maybe minitrons, let us merge minitrons, and give us the ability to use real life textures so that we can recreate real life arenas or our own versions of real life arenas. Yeah, there's so many things that they could add in. Maybe we should make a wish list at some point. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe we should do that. But that's going to be us for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing, because there is always more 2K news, as we are only a few weeks away from the release of the game. So if you want to see more, you gotta subscribe. That's the rules. With that being said, thank you so much, and bye for now.